What is the purpose of life?
Life, as you know it, is to be regarded as an opportunity, a school, to learn, to return to that from whence ye have come, the Godhead. See,
Would you please expand on that for us?
we have given thee the purpose of life.
How may this best be accomplished?
In this dimension alone, is the existence of what ye would know as emotion. For there is no other aspect of the God awareness where the emotions are manifested. If you would consider thy God both as a benevolent and a passive force, then it would help you to gather more clear understanding. For you see, God in the force of God is pure. There is no room for envy, malice, jealousy, hate, lust, greed, indifference. For God is pure love. In accomplishing the purpose of life, each entity must learn that the attainment of the Christ consciousness, the attainment of love, is the only path to follow in order to return to that of the Godhead. Any excess of emotion, there are no exceptions, with the exception of the Christ consciousness, is sinful and detrimental to the well-being of the entity. When an entity can learn to love with equal amounts of understanding, acceptance, compassion, that would appear as a committer of the most heinous crimes, the murderer, on a par with that of Jesus and others who have attained the Christ consciousness, then the purpose of life would have been fulfilled for that entity, and there would be a direct returning to that from whence ye have come, or the entity would be allowed to enter other dimensions for further learning. See?
In this dimension, then, the learning of the ability to love might be called a part or a major part of the purpose of life. Is that correct?
It is the only purpose of life. There is no other purpose for those that would live a life and learn not the true meaning and feeling of love. They have gained not a whit. It is a life that is wasted. See?
How best may the true feeling of love be experienced by those who are in this dimension?
You have answered that question. By experience.
Are
By
there,
learning to enter the Holy of Holies. that is known as meditation, or the language of the unconscious, or that of the dream, in order to touch upon the inner self, the higher self, and those that would help the even but at. It is important the entity's mind be centered upon that of love. For many an entity has shared a meal with an angel and has not known of the same, yet that angel was there to answer the need of the entity in order to gain the wisdom of love. See?
In addition to the basic purpose of life, do individuals have specific tasks to perform?
There are entities that have builded certain talents. There are entities that have builded certain urges and influences, and these can be as different as the number of entities that are present. But this is all as of nothing, really, for it matters little what the entity would do in this physical life unless first purpose is accomplished, unless thy first ideal, thy first aspiration is the attainment of the Godhead. Any that would settle for any less than this have lived the life not to the fullest. See?
You have said that it is only in this dimension that it is possible to experience emotions, if I have understood correctly.
That is so.
Can you expand on how an individual might best recognize the emotion of love?
This is experienced through experiences. When the entity again would regard entity and would love all equally, regardless of their actions or reactions, then they know they are on the path to finding love. See?
The attitude that a person has towards others then seems to me to be, if what I hear you saying is correct, is that that attitude is the most important thing, which could then lead to the feeling. Is that correct?
An attitude is only a pointer of the emotions that are existent in the portion of the record within. Basically correct. See?
In relationship with other entities, the relationships that we have with each other, how best can an individual attain this feeling of love?
There is only one way to receive it. That's to give it. See?
Can you give us some specifics regarding what are acts of love so that we can use the information to achieve this state?
Eliminate that of the sins. Eliminate that we have spoken of. Eliminate worry, hate, envy, malice, lust, greed, jealousy, revenge. Simply eliminate the sins from that of thy thinking. Fill thy whole being with that of the aspect of love, and seek ye ever ways and means to be of service to thy brother, for in doing so ye commit the act of love, and that ye give forth is that is returned to thee in like measure. The questions are redundant. See?